You know what it's time for. It's time for round 4 of the Amiibo Pantheon Tournament qualifiers. There's quite a lot at stake at this point. There are 6 Amiibo who have yet to lose, and 9 who have yet to win. Those on 3 wins can essentially have a foot in the tournament if they win today's matches. By contrast, the ones that have 3 losses to their name already will be in grave danger should they lose today's matches that they have. And today has a lot of big name matches, so you'd better believe that there's a lot at stake. I would like to remind frequent watchers of my videos that if you are not subscribed to the channel already, I would recommend you do. I hope to make a late push for 1,000 with your help, so feel free to contribute. Also, just as a heads up, if you've not watched any of the previous 3 parts, this might not make any sense. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we?
Round 4!
We are going immediately into a high-profile match here, as Big Boss takes on DK West. And West is on a 3-match win streak right now. And he's looking to make it 4 with this intense gameplay. He's one of the ones yet to lose, and he's determined to keep it that way. Don't underestimate Big Boss, though. He is a Bowser that starts at 60% each stock. But he is still a Bowser. And that means he's gonna lay the hurt on him. Oh. Giant Form West in the house. And you know he just wants that ding. West is looking to end this quickly. But Big Boss is not going to go down without a fight. He's hanging on as Big Boss with those defensive buffs that have just ran out. Alright, Big Boss pulls it all the way back. West needs to stop dawdling. He's let him come right back into the tie. He might end up letting this match slip away from him. Oh. Nope, that's not quite gonna do him in. That's a warning shot, though. Oh! Ho, ho, ho. Big Boss jumped right into West's arms. And he keeps his win streak alive. I don't really know what Fortune is gonna do to lose to Osborne. Because, Osborne is sitting in the elimination zone as things stand, yet to get a win on the board. And despite his early dominance here, I don't really think he's going to change that. Fortune lost last time to Big Boss, but that was mainly down to him being under a rare type disadvantage. And, oh, okay. Osborne taking a surprise lead. But yeah, there's no type disadvantages in play here, so Fortune can just do what he wants. Osborne is actually doing quite well for himself in this match. Even in the throes of death, which he just got thrown into. It's not enough to just take the lead, you have to make the most of it too. And you certainly don't contest Hero Side B. Oh, he fell out of Power Dunk. But the Burn Knuckle, I believe, allows him to bring it down to last stock at least. Osborne basically just has a permanent Accelerator at all times. But he kind of traded some intelligence for that, didn't he? You can tell he's fishing for a menu option as Fortune. He's been hovering into that menu quite a bit. Oh! Who saw that one coming? Because I honestly didn't. Osborne is finally on the board. I really don't know what to say about that. This one has a number of layers to it. Braveheart is on a bit of a hot streak, 2 matches unbeaten. Whereas the Riddler lost his 3-match win streak. Or was it 2? Yeah, I think it was 2 matches win streak. to DK West. So they both have something to fight for here. But also, Braveheart is a blue type and the Riddler is a red type, so Braveheart has the advantage going into this. On paper, at least. The Riddler doesn't really seem to care about the type advantages right now, though. Alright. 56%, that's a decent lead. Can the Riddler make the most of it, though? Because with that type disadvantage, Braveheart is going to close the gap very quickly. He does have the healing and metal to help him out, though. They're both on kill percent, I would say. Alright, Braveheart takes the lead. This is dangerous play. Oh! Almost a successful edge guard there from Braveheart. And it goes completely even yet again. Or about as even as it gets right now. One strong hit from Braveheart, and I think he's got it. And just like that, there is that strong hit. Braveheart makes it 3 in a row.
A brawl is surely brewing.
Akira should be nervous. Osborne's win over Fortune means that Akira is going to be part of the bottom elimination groups in Group A. Unless he does something against Mr. T here. And even getting a result off him is a pretty tall order. Because he, much like DK West, is yet to lose. Although, he is in a good position to maybe change that. Mr. T answering back very quickly, though. He's not giving up that unbeaten record easily. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts. Alright. Completely even. Oh. Always in a good position. Oh. Oh! The footstool save! Mr. T manages to clutch victory. And keeps his win streak alive. TJ Creed is bottom of Group A. And he needs to do something against Ice Sprite if he wants to change that. Ice Sprite isn't in that much of a better position herself, but she at least has a win on the board. Creed taking the first stock, however, might do things to change that. Okay, that was weird. But it does put Creed in a very commanding position. There is surely no way he lets this slip. Well, I mean, that's one. No, throws are not gonna do it, Creed. You surely cannot throw this. Oh. Why is this so close? Oh! How? He had victory in the palm of his gloves, and he threw it away. After that, I'm not sure he deserves to qualify. This match sees Mandolin, who lost to Bonesaw and ended their 2-run unbeaten streak, up against Hermes, who managed to pull off a comeback victory over Mama Luigi. These two have been on good form as of late, so I'm curious to see who comes out on top here. Oh, yep, that's a kill. These two characters have like a negative stereotype around them of being lame. But Mandolin and Hermes are here to try and bust that myth. Especially with Hermes being a daredevil, so you know he's gonna go deep for those kills. But right now, if anybody looks more likely to take a stock, it's definitely Mandolin. He just doesn't seem to have an answer. Alright, he gets one. Pulling off a comeback like Ice Sprite did with TJ Creed is gonna be a bit of a tall order, though. At least that's what I feel like. I don't know. Stranger things have happened. But those stranger things are not going to be happening this time. Ever since these qualifiers have started, it's just been one bad thing after another for Hurricane. He lost to Mandolin, then to Hermes in a deja vu moment to the tournament last year. And then he got 3-stocked by Darkseid, and is dead last in Group B as it stands. And he has to face off against Bonesaw, who is sitting pretty in second right now. And he's not making a good start, is he? He's being very patient as Bonesaw. He can play patiently when he wants to be. That's another stock. It's not looking good for Hurricane. He can claw this back if he does something drastic. And hopefully the plan was not to run into 2 Alolan Whips, because that's not how you win against an Incineroar amiibo. Make that 3 Alolan Whips. Hurricane remains rooted to the bottom and is in pretty big trouble after that one. Fresh out of his 3-stocking of Hurricane, Darkseid has surely got to be feeling confident. Especially against Mama Luigi, who shipped his lead away to Hermes. They're both looking to escape the throes of the bottom end of the table. And honestly, I don't know who really has an edge in this tie. I mean, Ganondorf is mighty powerful and should never be counted out, but Luigi can just kill sometimes. He just has that thing about him where sometimes you just randomly die. He's certainly not afraid of meeting Darkseid head-on. Oh dear. Yeah, no, that's definitely a shield break punish. Say what you will about Darkseid's performances, he at least knows how to capitalize on those. Alright. Nice clean edge guard. Puts him right back into contention again. But this is prime Luigi kill percent too, I think. If he lands that up B, that is. Oh, wow! A masterful roll read gives Darkseid another victory. From one Insta-Dropper to another, we have Colonel Noodles the Min-Min up against Maximilian the Ludwig. Considering that she was too much for Darkseid, I'm curious to see how she fares against Maximilian. Good tech. Manages to escape the situation cleanly. She's got the Megawatt out. She's looking for that kill. But Maximilian is the one who draws first blood. Okay. That's definitely not how I expected her to take Maximilian's first stock. Nice capitalizing. Not gonna do anywhere near enough damage, but that's okay. Or at least it would be if she wasn't losing. Oh, she actually manages to hit him out of that state. That's his weakness. You gotta hit him while he's in that state if you want to gain an edge. Maximilian edge guarding very cleanly, and he manages to eke out a victory, which will surely do good things for him at the top of Group B. Frozone versus Mira should be an interesting closer for this match, or at least for this group. Yeah, I don't know what you thought was going to happen. It's like, yes, you have touched my shield exactly once and you will take 43%. Okay. Frozone not intimidated by this DLC stature. Or the newbie stature, really. Then again, Mira isn't intimidated by Frozone either. No, don't taunt yet. You've got a lot of work to do. Alright, Mira has the edge. Okay. Frozone is not going down without a fight. Yeah, that was always gonna happen. Mira wins over Frozone and puts an end to this batch of Group B fixtures. Team Vermilion's performance has been kind of lacking, to be honest. Yet to register a win, much like Daisy here. And the only reason they're not in the elimination stages right now is because of the fact that they haven't lost by nearly as much as Daisy. Or Van Helsing, for that matter. One of them has to get their first win. Is Vermilion becoming the master choke artist right now? I mean, Dreadlock almost choked against Fire Bride. And Vermilion choked against Dreadlock. Okay, that's one way to contest the Daisy Bomber. But they've got quite a mountain to climb here to make things even again. Yeah, good idea. Get Charizard out. And if you have to, just Flare Blitz until it gets you a kill. No! She keeps swapping to Squirtle. Why does she keep doing that? Squirtle's been the team letdown. It could be a first win for Fire Bride unless Vermilion's team do something here. I mean, Daisy's performance has been improving over time, I will say. But, you know, Vermilion's team is just doing badly. They keep falling for rookie mistakes. No. No Squirtle. This is a very big risk she's taking. Oh! Oh, no! Oh, the switch to Ivysaur came at just the wrong time. Fire Bride is officially on the board. Considering the competition these two have had, I think they've been doing okay in this group. This Inkling and this Piranha Plant. They've kind of petered out as of late, but, you know. It's to be expected when you have such heavy hitters in your group. And speaking of heavy hits, there's what just happened there as well. Ivy wants this win really badly. She is lower down in the table, and a win could help her put some daylight between herself and the elimination slots. And right now she's on track to finish strong. I don't think Inkling could be completely ruled out, though. That ink is gonna be a good equalizer. Ivy continuing to hang on, in spite of all of this ink. Oh! A masterful dodge under the Splat Bomb, and Ivy gets a nice 3-1 victory. Dreadlock is one of two in Group C yet to lose, which is not really what you want to have going into a match with K-Ratos, especially a K-Ratos that has come off the back of a victory. He's going to be full of confidence again, and that's not what you want to face. Unless you're the Samus, apparently. Alright, tanks it with the belly armor and gets the down smash. At least he can take comfort in the fact that Dreadlock won't fire out the charge shot ever. He's 150 down. But he's a big boy, he can survive those sorts of numbers. He can't survive that, though. Uh-oh. Whew. Okay. This is not looking good for him, but he does have a slim chance. Oh! Oh! A bit of a taste of Dreadlock's own medicine. King K. Rato's just about squeaks past Dreadlock. It's almost as if it was destiny that they were put in the same group. We have the Blob, the Kirby Amiibo, up against MS Hammer, the DDD Amiibo. Yet another throwback to the Squad Strike video. But they only really had one stop to really get to know each other. A full match might make things interesting. Blob wasting no time asserting himself. And MS Hammer responding in kind. This is a very even contest right now. But maybe Kirby being a daredevil might help things there? Gaining DDD's power definitely didn't help there. It's okay, have another go. There you go. He's got to use the power of the hat. Being underneath this Kirby is not where you want to be. And he's playing a dangerous game being at the ledge. Ooh. Oh, that didn't quite do him in. Can't celebrate just yet. But when he goes that high to challenge Kirby, he definitely can celebrate. If it weren't for the previous matches we've seen today, I would be more than willing to call this a foregone conclusion. It's not going to be a case of whether or not Stevel will win, it's going to be a case of how many. Oh, that's death. Yeah. He doesn't understand how to recover, and that's pretty much his downfall. No, don't let him get a diamond. That's the last thing you want to do. I'm not sure who in this group can even beat Stevel. In fact, I'm not sure who in the tournament can beat Stevel. And that's a disconcerting thought. Just kill this Simon and put him out of his misery, Steve. Oh, that's just mean. Then again, this Steve is Steve-ill, so I guess it's fitting. We begin Group D with Hoxton versus King Cobra. And a win for King Cobra would help get him out of the Group D elimination zone. And maybe apply some pressure to Hoxton, who likely isn't that far above those spaces. In fact, a look at the table shows that he's 7th right now, so he's not exactly sitting pretty. But I think he might be able to edge this out. Not if he does dumb counters like that. Actually, upon further inspection, King Cobra did get a win on the board. I believe it was last time, actually, against Robbie. But he's not gonna win if he keeps doing stuff like that. Oh, uh-oh. Alright, he's able to save himself successfully this time. Not enough, really. Okay. Was that a combination of the mortar and the C4? Because that was pretty intimidating if it was. Alright, place your bets. How many more up-airs is he going to get hit by? This is not a good position King Cobra is in. Oh, but that would have snuck him the win if he had landed that. But it just wasn't to be. Hoxton gets another win on the board.
All right, victory.
Coming off the back of a win against Megamind has surely got to do good for Pauling's confidence. But Kenshiro won against Hoxton, so that might play into things too. And in general, Kenshiro's just been doing really, really well, considering who else is in this group. Pauling's performance hasn't been the worst, but it's been a lot more hit and miss. It's certainly not missing with that slingshot, though. Alright, alright. That was a brutal reversal. Ooh. Nice tech. A lesser soul probably wouldn't have been able to tech that. But Pauling is used to the thrills of being off stage. She's in a good position here. Alright, down to the wire here. Either one of them could finish this at any time. Oh, oh. Aww. Kenshiro did put up a good fight, but Pauling just about edged out in that one. In the previous batch of fixtures, Megamind lost to Pauling, who is basically cut from the same cloth as Villager, as an Isabelle. So this could go badly for Megamind if he lets it run away from him. Which he's kind of letting it happen, really. Is it fair to say that Robbie's been the surprise of the qualifiers so far? Because I don't think anybody really expected much from anything, if at all. But he's turned up for this. His Daredevil tendencies doing wonders here. But it's a bit early to call this Mewtwo out. Because he can level things pretty quickly if he can get the hits in. Alright. Gets the nice down throw forward air. Oh, he was looking to finish him. Oh, you love to see that sort of stuff. I wouldn't be that surprised if Robbie went pretty far in this tournament, honestly. If he plays anything like this, then he could be a contender. I can't wait for him to pocket the Shadow Ball. Not even to win, but just to flex on him. Megamind has put it down to last stock, though. Which doesn't really mean much aside from disrupting his score totals, really. This one could get rough for Dante, really. Taskmaster is one of the few yet to lose. And I really doubt that it's gonna start here. Oh, a taunt! He's up for this one. It's been 35 seconds and Dante is already dead. I guess the thing about Dante is that his gimmick is that he gets stat boosts and getting gimped like that. Whereas Taskmaster, his sole gimmick is just being Link. And he's very, very good at being Link. He's looking to close this out very quickly. Oh! Well, he did manage to take one off him. I guess that's an achievement. Let's be real with each other here. That entire fight was just a massacre. Final match of the day. It's bottom of the table, Fire and Icy. Okay. Bottom of the table, Fire and Icy versus Surprise Package Charlie, who currently sits in third. But a win over these Ice Climbers could see him go as high as second. Assuming he doesn't lose any more stocks from here on out. Ooh. Okay, that's one way to respond. That was tactical suicide. Getting rid of Popo is not really the smartest of ideas. Oh. Ah. He loses out on second place. But if he wins, which is a good possibility, then he can seal third, at least for now. But with how much damage he's taking, it might be a tall order here. Unless he does something. Oh. Nearly. You don't want to get spiked by him. He does love his spikes. Oh! Okay. That was all very sudden, but Fire and Icy are finally on the board. There have been a lot of upsets today, I must say. And with that many upsets, that surely got to shake the standings up a little bit. So we might as well go and see how that affects things. The surprises throughout today's matches have ended up shaking the tables up quite drastically, at least in some respects. In Group A, DK West and Mr. T lead the way thanks to their victories over Big Boss and Akira, respectively. Because of Osborne's win over Fortune, he manages to escape the elimination places, with Akira taking his place and TJ Creed remaining rooted to the bottom. In Group B, Maximilian continues to be at the top of the group after obtaining 4 wins on the bounce. While Hermes and Frozone did lose their matches, Mama Luigi and Hurricane also lost theirs, and they sit in the elimination zone. Stevel managing to 3-stock Van Helsing allows him to sit nice and pretty at the top of Group C, with Dreadlock, MS Hammer and Ivy all having 3-1 records under their names. With Firebride's shock victory over Vermilion, she's able to escape the elimination zone, and Vermilion takes her place, with no wins on the board, as well as Van Helsing. And in Group D, Taskmaster remains at the summit with 4 wins and no losses, but victories for Robbie and Pauling see them right up behind him. Although Fire and Icy have managed to win against Charlie under shock circumstances, they're not exactly out of the woods, as 7th and 10th in Group D are only separated by stock difference, so things look particularly precarious there. While the 5 that have no losses on their records have not necessarily qualified yet, they are in as good a position to qualify as they can be as things stand. Maybe next time we will see them secure qualification, as we are coming close to that sort of time. And I'll see you next time for that next round of qualifiers. Take care now.